to show that it's close, but in my opinion, Curry's impact has been far greater than LeBron.
Do you think LeBron James really feels the pressure from Stephen Curry? Because when people debate the NBA GOAT, the answers usually come fast, but that confidence didn't exist before Steph showed up. Let's be honest, if Steph never stepped on a court, if that baby-faced assassin never proved that pulling up from the logo could destroy defenses, modern basketball looks totally different. LeBron would have ruled this era without debate, no competition, no pushback, just dominance. The GOAT talk would have started and ended with LeBron. The stats, the rings, the highlights, everything lined up perfectly for him to sit on the throne forever.
That if Steph and Curry didn't exist, LeBron would probably be the unanimous best player of all time.
But then number 30 arrived, smiling, fearless, splashing threes, and shaking the league with every shot. And with every jaw-dropping three, Steph chipped away at the one thing LeBron wanted most, the uncontested crown of basketball greatness. Rewind to 2014. LeBron's legacy looked unstoppable. He was 30, deep in his prime, fresh off 4 straight finals runs, and the league revolved around him. Every title dream ran through King James. He even had a new super team in Cleveland, built perfectly around him, ready to dominate. By that age, Michael Jordan had 3 rings, LeBron had 2, and the gap looked close enough to erase. But destiny had other plans, and his name was Stephen Curry. Heading into 2015, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the clear favorites. The spotlight was locked on LeBron, calm, confident, surrounded by talent, ready to claim the throne.
It made me the greatest player of all time. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Or so everyone thought. Everything finally lined up for LeBron James. He was stronger, smarter, sharper, and playing some of the cleanest basketball the league had ever seen. Catching Michael Jordan didn't feel close. It felt inevitable. Then Stephen Curry detonated the timeline. Out of nowhere, this calm, smooth shooter flipped the NBA upside down. Deep threes, off-ball chaos, fearless confidence. The league had never seen anything like it. LeBron reached 4 straight finals, which sounds legendary on paper, but the results hit harder. One razor-thin loss, one iconic championship, then a gentleman's sweep, and finally a full sweep. Close, sure, but the outcome always leaned one way. 1 title in 4 tries, and every roadblock traced back to one name, Wardell Stephen Curry. Without Steph, the Golden State Warriors never become a nightmare dynasty. No 3-point revolution, no unstoppable system, and no reason for Kevin Durant to ever join that squad. Steph didn't just change the game, he rerouted LeBron's legacy. Don't twist this, though. LeBron was never washed. What he did in 2016, dragging the Cleveland Cavaliers back from 3-1 against a 73-win team, is still legendary. But GOAT debates don't escape the math. 1 championship and 4 finals during his prime with rosters built to dominate left scars greatness couldn't fully erase. Here's the wild thought. If Steph Curry never existed, no logo threes, no fearless grin, LeBron's story might look untouchable.
You don't just leave an abandoned ship and then get the band of merry men to start up again. You don't do that. You created this monster that was called the Miami Heatles. Now you got to finish it up.
In that timeline, LeBron probably stacks rings with ease. 4 straight titles in that stretch isn't crazy. 7 rings, 7 finals MVPs, no debate left to argue. In a world without Steph, LeBron James probably clears Michael Jordan in most GOAT talks. No debate, the math lines up, the rings stack up, and the story sounds clean. But that world never existed because Stephen Curry showed up and rewrote basketball history. Instead of 7 finals wins, LeBron sits at 4. Instead of 3 losses, it's 6. And once that finals record hit 4-6, the numbers stopped working in his favor. He can add points, assists, milestones, all that.
Finals, but he's in a position to win his 3rd straight NBA championship.
But that finals record hangs over everything like a dark cloud. You can't outrun it. Steph didn't just slow LeBron down, he hit the GOAT case right where it hurts. Every deep three and every parade in the Bay shifted the legacy race. And here's what most people miss. This isn't just about rings or box scores, it goes deeper. Everyone worships Jordan's perfect 6-0 finals record. That stat alone keeps him on top of almost every debate. But before MJ became untouchable, he suffered real pain. Before the dynasty, Jordan got knocked out 3 straight years by the same wall. The Detroit Pistons. In 1988, even after winning MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Jordan ran into the bad boys led by Isaiah Thomas and got dropped 4-1. Next year, it got closer, but the Pistons still shut the door 4-2. Those losses forged Jordan. He learned, adapted, and finally broke through. That's when the legend truly began. LeBron had his bad boys moment too, and that wall had a name: Stephen Curry. Same opponent. Same heartbreak, same roadblock year after year. That's what real adversity looks like. Here's the real difference. Michael Jordan didn't run from the fire. He didn't look for shortcuts or jump teams for an easier road. He faced his demons head on, took every loss personally, and turned pain into fuel. Year after year, he crashed into the same wall until year 4. That's when Jordan finally broke through. And once he did, the league was his. Championships followed, confidence exploded, and there was no looking back. This isn't just rings or numbers, it's character. It's how a man reacts when the world tells him no. Jordan didn't dodge the storm, he walked straight into it and came out owning everything. Now compare that to LeBron James in 2010. At 25, he left Cleveland for Miami to build a super team. Young, hungry, desperate to win. People understood it, and it worked. But fast forward to 2014. LeBron's 29, fully in his prime, coming off another brutal finals loss, and he leaves again. This time, it wasn't just about help. It felt like escaping the weight of losing while chasing GOAT status. And that move hits different when you're supposed to be the king. You can't just pack up the crown and reset after a loss. Let's be honest. If Kyrie Irving wasn't already in Cleveland, or if they weren't perfectly set up to trade for Kevin Love, that fairy tale return probably never happens. Sure, it made headlines, but it was also a carefully built setup for another title run. And even then, destiny had one more twist. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors became the next unstoppable wall. Just like the Pistons were for Jordan, just like earlier roadblocks slowed young LeBron, Golden State stood in the way. When the climb got steep again, when age and pressure started whispering louder at 33, LeBron James packed up once more, this time heading west to Los Angeles. Let's be clear, nobody's saying LeBron didn't compete. The man's a warrior, built different, and he always gave everything on the court. But patterns don't lie. Leave once? Understandable. Leave twice? Eyebrows raised. Leave 3 times? That starts saying something about how you react when the walls close in. Now look at Stephen Curry in 2019. He loses the finals. The dynasty looks finished. Then 2020 hits, injuries, chaos, everything falls apart. In 2021, the Golden State Warriors don't even make the playoffs, bounced in the play-in. That's real adversity, and here's the difference. Steph didn't run. He didn't recruit a savior. He didn't chase a softer landing spot. He stayed put, ate every loss, took every headline calling the dynasty done straight to the chest. Then he came back swinging. When Steph rose again, he delivered one of the coldest comebacks the league has ever seen. Same grin, same confidence, same killer instinct. He climbed right back to the mountaintop and reminded everyone who he really is. A champion with ice in his veins. That wasn't luck, that was legacy. Strip away the stats, the awards, the numbers. Just look at the story. Look at how each man handled resistance when life punched back. Steph's journey reads like a real champion's arc. Pain, doubt, redemption, triumph. That's the DNA of greatness. And that's why people are starting to whisper something wild. How can LeBron be the GOAT when someone from his own era lived out a tougher, stronger, more inspiring champion story? And trust me, that's not even the biggest hit Steph dealt to LeBron's GOAT case. Because the real damage didn't come from finals losses. This is where the real damage happened. Influence. Look at any kid on the court right now. You already know what's coming. He's not backing anyone down or bullying the paint like LeBron James. Nah. He's stepping back, lifting the ball high, and letting it fly from deep. Why? Because that's what he grew up watching. Stephen Curry and the rhythm, the release, the confidence. That swagger matters way more than people admit. Make no mistake, players respect LeBron, coaches praise him, fans still call him the king. But here's the truth. LeBron's greatness is built on freak physical gifts almost no human can copy. You can admire that power, but you can't relate to it. Steph feels reachable. His greatness is skill, timing, touch, and belief. Things kids can actually practice. That's why today's generation doesn't want to be the biggest anymore. They want to be the coldest. Steph didn't just win games, he rewired basketball's DNA. This wasn't just a highlight reel, it was a cultural shockwave. From street courts to pro arenas, the entire vibe flipped. Before Steph, kids wanted to dunk like LeBron, dominate like Shaquille O'Neal, or fly like Michael Jordan. Now, everyone wants to pull up from half court, hold the follow-through, and walk away smiling before the ball even drops. Go to any gym, any high school run, any park, you'll hear someone yell Curry as they launch a wild three. It's not just a shot anymore, it's a mindset. Steph made shooting cool. He turned skill into power and precision into swagger. LeBron made people respect greatness. Steph made people believe they could reach it. And that right there is the legacy shift LeBron can't compete with. Only a few humans could ever match LeBron James physically, but Stephen Curry gave the world a blueprint anyone could chase. Repetition, rhythm, confidence. You don't need to be 6 feet 8 inches or jump out the gym. You just need a ball, a hoop, and the guts to let it fly. That's how Steph became more than a player. He became a movement. Even the NBA had to bend. Teams rebuilt entire rosters around shooting. Centers learned to stretch the floor. Point guards turned into snipers. Every coach started preaching spacing and pace. The Golden State Warriors didn't just win titles, they rewired basketball from top to bottom. And through it all, LeBron watched the league slowly shift away from power and toward precision. The game that once revolved around brute force became a shooter's paradise, a world designed for Steph's touch. Every new MVP-level star, Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Ja Morant, all owe something to the style Steph created. LeBron may go down as one of the most physically dominant athletes ever, but Steph redefined what dominance even means. He proved finesse can break defenses. That skill can scream louder than strength, and that confidence can shift an entire generation. Now kids don't dream about being the biggest or fastest. They dream about pulling up from the logo and hearing that perfect swish. That's the Steph effect. Quiet confidence, deadly skill, a legacy built on inspiration, not just trophies. And when you zoom out and see the full picture, it's clear. Steph Curry didn't just compete with LeBron James. He beat him more often when it mattered most, on the biggest stage, under the brightest lights. In the end, Stephen Curry walked away on top more times. And now he doesn't just have rings, he owns the narrative. His story hits harder, it feels fuller, more human, more real. But beyond wins and trophies, Steph controls something even bigger: culture. People didn't just watch Steph, they copied him. Not just kids in driveways yelling Curry with broken form, but the entire NBA reshaped itself around his game. Before Steph, coaches hated deep threes. Pull up from 30 feet and you're riding the bench. After Steph, those same shots became smart offense. Spacing stretched, ball movement exploded. Big men were told to shoot, not just rebound and dunk. Entire systems got rewritten, not by theory, not by spreadsheets, but because one man proved this wild style actually wins championships. That's evolution happening in real time. You can't talk GOAT debates and skip this part. Greatness isn't just stats or trophies anymore, it's influence. In NBA, the player everyone wanted to be wasn't LeBron James, it was Steph Curry. The 90s were built in Michael Jordan's image. Fierce, dominant, unstoppable. This era, it's built in Steph's image. Skill-based, creative, fearless, limitless. That's a cultural legacy LeBron never fully captured, no matter how many points or rings he stacked. You can even hear it in LeBron's own words. After the 2016 finals, when he called himself the GOAT, listen closely. The tone dips, the eyes drop, the confidence feels shaky. Fans noticed instantly. Comments blew up. He doesn't even believe it. Why is he staring at the floor? Man, the room got quiet fast. Then came the savage moment. Game 7, final minutes. LeBron James goes quiet. Kyrie Irving hits that ice-cold step back over Stephen Curry, and LeBron's watching from the corner. That's the night you're supposed to know you're the GOAT. Yet somehow, Steph's shadow never left. So answer this straight. How does LeBron still claim the crown when Steph outplayed him when it mattered most? More wins head-to-head on the biggest stage. A stronger champion's aura. A cleaner story. And a whole generation that wants to be Steph. And yeah, let's not skip it. GOATs don't sell contact like it's an acting tryout. Laugh if you want, but it matters. If you're the greatest ever, why are you hunting whistles instead of moments? Sure, LeBron owns records and plenty of them, but dig deeper and it gets weird. The night he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, The Los Angeles Lakers lost 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Another loss, 40,000 points. History made. Scoreboard still says defeat. Too many of LeBron's biggest milestones ended quietly. Now look at Steph. When he makes history, it's wrapped in wins, titles, MVPs, and unforgettable playoff runs. One guy collects stats, the other creates memories. Even on the international stage, the pattern holds. At the Olympic Games, LeBron earned MVP buzz. But what did everyone actually talk about? Steph's clutch shooting, his calm leadership, his energy, same court, same lights. Steph still stole the moment. That's why this GOAT debate needs a reset. For years, it's been Jordan versus LeBron like no one else belongs. But when you really look, finals battles, culture, global influence, Steph Curry's case gets impossible to ignore. The man who redefined modern basketball didn't just compete with LeBron. He changed the rules of greatness itself. He surpassed him where it matters most. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If Stephen Curry really outperformed LeBron James, the man most people rank right behind Michael Jordan, then where does Steph actually belong on the all-time list? Maybe he's not above MJ yet, but acting like he doesn't belong right behind him, that's getting harder to defend by the year. The game changed because of Steph. The culture changed because of Steph. And the legacy race will never look the same again. If you made it this far, hit like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. More drama, more legacy talk, more truth. Stay tuned. We're just getting started. Peace.